Hey guys, welcome to the Jason Saunders channel and welcome to episode 36. I thought I'd try something new, starting off with a topic discussion video. And this is something that I've been kind of pondering about for a little bit. It's been on my mind for a couple weeks here, and I thought that I'd try it out here. I thought I'd talk about it. And the topic of discussion is, are we living in the golden age of video games and we don't know it? Join me, guys, in the discussion and write in the comments. Do you guys think that we're living in the golden age of video games here today, like existing now, compared to in the 80s and 90s? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on this. Now, starting off here, in the future, right now, we've got so much at our fingertips, right? We've got our phones. If you want to check out a video game, it's right on your phone. You check it out. You go to a video game store. You're unaware of a title. All right, let's click it. Let's get into it. And you've got piles of videos. You've got all sorts. You've got endless supply from various regions around the world, all different languages, everything. And you know exactly what to expect. You've got it right there. It's staring at you at your face. And so that's one of the things that we didn't have in the past. And another thing that we have is, hey, there's a lot of people in the comments, and I'll look at comments and various stuff on the internet, especially with the retro video games. People look it up and might be for the NES, and they look at gameplay, and then they're like, "Oh, I wish I had this. I wish I could play this again." And they're just completely unaware of how they can play it, and I kind of find that funny because. You can do that on emulation. There's a lot of comments, oh, too bad I can't play this now. Of course you can. There's emulation. You can buy a brand new NES system, if you want. There's just so much out there. You can, there's homebrew stuff. There's, you've so many technology video games. You can buy... there's people making brand new old games for older systems, right? And it's fascinating. I love this, the future of gaming. And yes, this is another example of why I think we're in the golden age. And people, there's a lot of people, and I was one of the guys saying, oh yeah, back when, back in the day, that's when it was the good times. And yeah, to a certain degree, yeah, of course, we're saying that because we were little. We have nostalgia for a lot of the stuff, but yeah, we're living in the golden age. If you want to get retro stuff, you've got eBay. You can order everything. Everything comes to you at your doorstep. You've got everything there for you, and yeah, so I mean, you've got the new stuff, you got the new technology, the new gaming systems, the PlayStation 5s, the 4s, everything. And then you got the Xbox. And so, to a certain degree, another argument, somebody might say, well, no, we're not. This isn't the golden age because the physical content is becoming less and less. And yeah, I kind of agree to that to a certain extent. Thank goodness we still have physical games that are being made. And another question will be, will there be physical content in the future? And I think there will be, but I think it'll become less and less. But I think it'll always be an option, or at least I like to think that it will always be an option. Because of the demand, right? I think there will always be people demanding physical content, and I think it's important. It's kind of hard to show off a collection when you don't have it. or it's just on your gaming system, and you have a picture of it, and that's about it. I've got this. This is in my collection. Here's the picture of it. Here, this is what I'm playing. Um, so there's that, and and I always find it fascinating. Yes, and here's another example that we're living in the golden age of gaming. Is we've got gaming companies that are making the new gaming stuff. You got the fancy graphics, the top notch graphics. That's all filled with story and everything like that. And I find sometimes, gosh, it's a hard argument because sometimes story is really good in a video game, but sometimes it gets too far away from story, and it's getting away from a video game. It's feeling less and less like a video game. Like, back in the day, NES, you plop it in, you push the power button, you're playing it. There might be the story that we had might be a little saying maybe a little text, and that's it. And then you're off. You're off to do whatever you're doing. But now we've got hours and hours of story, and sometimes you just want to play the game. You just want to get in there and play it. I have a love and hate relationship to the Metal Gear games because that's what we were kind of dealing with. I loved the story. I loved it, but it kind of became more of a movie at times and less of a video game. But man, and when you played it, it was great. It was awesome. But and I find a lot more games are kind of getting into it, this sort of thing. But again, I kind of like those games too because of that, and kind of dislike them at the same time. Just they've definitely become more of a thing these days. It's a whole new genre, right? Kind of like movie-based games. And I kind of think that Metal Gear kind of started that. And it made an impact, a more movie-like, more realistic, voice acting, lots of different characters and everything like that. But getting back to the topic here, everything's readily available for us. Gaming companies are making the new games, and they're also making old stuff. You've got companies that make back to the traditional roots of the 8-bit and 16-bit games. We've got, Shovel Knight, and we've got Hollow Knight, which are really one of the greatest staples of retro stuff that I can think of. And there's so many more. There's so many more. That's just an example of two, but it's endless, and it's fantastic. It's great. I think as far as video game innovation, I think it's games are still getting feeling new because of what they come up with. And I find that gaming companies, such as the Mario company, they started off the Nintendo games. They started off with Mario was king. NES. Everyone had the Mario game with the Dunk Hunt, right? It was that whole combo pack, and so Mario has changed over the years. Well, to a certain extent. You've got, they had the 3D Marios, and they've got sports titles, and they've got all sorts of stuff. And I understand that they have to do different stuff. They have to experiment, but it's always kind of nice that Nintendo's always going back to their roots. We've got the new Mario games back to the 2D goodness, and so I think that's important. And so yeah, I think we're living in the golden age of video games. And there's something that's sad that's happening with video games though now is the extras that you get when you buy a physical release. Unless you're buying a special edition, usually, 99% of the time they won't have instruction manuals. It was always a nice thing to have. And they had pamphlets inside. And I think what I remember, I think it started off with the PlayStation 3, I think. Or no, I can't really remember. No, it was the PlayStation 4, right? Yeah, PlayStation 3 still had manuals to a certain degree. I think it was maybe halfway through the PlayStation 3's gaming life, maybe when they stopped that. I think. I like to think that's when it was. So yeah, I miss having a nice manual with the games. I kind of miss that it has to be a special edition video game usually to get some a full color book. I miss that, and I miss going through the artwork. And but thank goodness that special editions still have this stuff, and it makes the game special. It makes having those extras just adds to it, of course, and that was part and parcel with the NES games and the Super Nintendo and everything. You